in every link.
So some of you might remember the Chibok schoolgirls kidnapping, when Boko Haram took several hundred children. It's not entirely clear how many. There are over 500 in the school, but it wasn't clear how many had been in attendance at the school at the time. Certainly the school had been closed down for several weeks because of threats, but this was an exam day, and some of the girls went. They were schoolgirls aged from 16 to 18. And after the incident, 57 schools, I think they said about 200 to 300 were taken. 57 schoolgirls escaped by jumping from the trucks. One of the missing girls was found 2 years later. She claimed that the remaining girls were still there, but that 6 had died. 7 years after the initial kidnapping, over 100 of the girls remained missing. As of the 14th of April 2024, 10 years after the kidnapping, 82 of the girls were still missing, assumed to be in captivity, converted to Islam or turned into slaves. And that's it. And there was this huge thing. This was during the Obama administration. They were holding placards up, bring back our girls. It was a huge thing. But what did they actually do? Nothing. Holding placards was all they did. And then they sort of lost interest because, well, after all, you have other things to worry about, don't you? Well, Donald Trump decided to do something. He's not the sort of guy who stands around holding placards. He just went out with the bombers. And after the latest outrage in Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria, what did Trump do? Yeah, he just bombed the shit out of them. And that's what needs to be done to people like that. In this case, a group, I don't remember who it was. It was ISIS targets. So it was ISIS that did that. And they went in and they killed some Christian, they rampaged through a Christian village. 3,100 Christians have been killed for faith-related reasons in the 12-month period ending September 2024. In Nigeria. For 2025, they reckon at least 7,000 Christians have been killed. And you've got to remember that in many cases, these raids are on villages where, maybe there are a couple of hundred people living. So if there are a couple of hundred people there and the ISIS guys kill 100, that's the whole village has had its guts ripped out, hasn't it? So 7,000 people there from villages all over northern Nigeria. It's a substantial shock to the cultural system. And as a matter of fact, on Christmas Day, one of the guests at Christmas dinner was a Nigerian. And I asked him, why isn't the Nigerian government doing more about this? And he said they're trying to ignore it. They don't want to think about it. And I had heard that before, so it sounds like this guy was right. Well, Trump went in there, literally guns blazing, with the help of the Nigerian government, which is finally being shamed, I think, into action, and they are fighting back now. But I'm telling you about this only to point out to you that it isn't just the white Western world that is trying to ignore the threat from Islam. The Nigerians they're doing the same thing. They appear to be paralysed by the same, well, I don't know, it can't be political correctness in the case of Nigerians. I don't know what it is. We would have said the white people who want to ignore what's going on with regard to Muslims, for instance, in Britain, we'd say that was an overabundance of political correctness. But yeah, you can't say that about Nigeria, can you? And I find that very interesting in itself. I've still got to think about that. If anyone has any ideas about why this mental paralysis is happening all over the world, except perhaps in China, then perhaps you can come up with a good reason, because I find the whole thing very puzzling. Okay, well, yeah, that's the situation in Nigeria, and quite frankly, well done, Donald Trump. I'm really, well, he's coming up to my expectations, especially in this situation. It's just awful, horrible. Okay, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.